Hello. Thanks for joining me.
It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone. Well, I've missed you. I'm so happy to be back. I needed some time away because life was lifing, life was lifing and my energy wasn't right, and when the energy isn't right, when you are a healer, it's important that you prioritize stabilizing your energy because the work that I do isn't just in my head, it's also in my heart, so it takes a lot out of me emotionally, which is what I signed up for. I love the work that I do, and it's important to me that I do it well and that I do it without bringing my issues into the helping process. So whenever I notice that my energy is imbalanced, it's really important to me to go let's take a break, let's take a couple of steps back and get ourselves together before we move forward and try to help other people, because when we aren't centered, there is no amount of helping that we can give others. And every good therapist, clinician, energy worker, every good healer should already know that taking care of yourself, prioritizing your well-being is essential to you being able to help others. Okay? Which is something that Virgo's here to learn. So yay, Virgo.
Here are two things I learned as a Virgo Mars. Those of you who are Virgo Mars or even Libra or Pisces Mars or Cancer Mars can probably relate to some of this. Yes, I do offer private astrology readings. Link in bio to schedule your appointment. And you can find all my videos on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Everything is under the same name, Intuitive Healing. So let's talk about two things that I wish I learned sooner in life. I am a Virgo Mars. Most people know that Virgo is the fixer-upper of the zodiac. Virgo is the perfectionist of the zodiac. Virgo is the helper of the zodiac. Even though Virgo doesn't have a lot of healing energy, I believe they're the only zodiac sign out of everybody who is obsessed with this idea of making things better, making themselves better, and making the people around them better. Virgo does not find any satisfaction in life if they're not able to help, if they're not able to provide a service that benefits humanity, that benefits other people. This is why they're oftentimes obsessed with dating people that are beneath their standards, because they need to feel wanted and needed on a deep, practical level, So as a Virgo Mars, this is something that has plagued me my entire life, in case you could not tell. This is what led me to my actual, professional background of being in the mental health field and being a therapist and working in the mental health field for almost 20 years. Because Virgo is obsessed with helping people, making things better for people, fixing people. This is what, was very interesting to me about working in social research and being able to be a part of something that would help society on a grand scale. That's what I liked about, public health. So here I am, Virgo Mars, obsessed with fixing. And it's great that I'm able to do that in my career. But unfortunately for people like us, putting that boundary between what happens with our careers and what happens in our personal lives can get a little tricky. You can't be everybody's doctor. You can't be everybody's fixer. And sometimes that's a hard lesson to learn. So here are two things that I finally eventually learned that I hope you don't have to take as long to learn as I did. Number one, when people are wrestling their own demons and their own insecurities, they will not be at peace with themselves. And people who are not at peace with themselves cannot bring you peace. So even if you bring them peace, even if you are peaceful, even if you are kind, even if you are laid back, they will not return the same energy. Number two, people who do not love themselves cannot love you. There isn't an amount of love that you can pour into them that would suddenly make them love themselves. It's called self-esteem because it comes from the self.
Let's talk about what it's like to have a friendship with a Virgo. You should pursue a friendship with a Virgo if you're interested in intellectual conversations that are honest and that are also about, self-care and healing. Virgos are nurturing, they care deeply about the people that they love, and they're usually very committed. They can offer good conversation and good solutions to your problems. They can't help themselves. They naturally are helpers and they naturally want to improve things. So when they're invested in a friendship with you, they're invested in your life and your problems. So they often will come up with excellent ideas about ways to improve certain situations in your life. They can drive you crazy with their obsessions because they tend to fret over the littlest things and they can't help it, that they're very observant and analytical. and a lot of times they overthink things, and that brings about anxiety that spreads into their friendships. But the good news is they will offer you a lot of intellectually stimulating conversations. So there will be a lot of opportunities to learn and grow when you're in a friendship with a Virgo. That will help you improve your life because they naturally do not like messes, and they naturally are perfectionists. So anything that needs to be fine-tuned, that needs to be improved, they're like the right guy to point that out. But not only point it out like ha ha ha, but like, how do we make it better together, sort of thing. So if you're in a friendship with a Virgo and they're not trying to improve your life, and they're not offering solutions to problems, and they're not offering care and nurturing, then they're not that invested, because this is naturally who they are. Virgos have a hard time making and keeping friends, and the reason for that is because their communication style can be brash, and it can be a little harsh, and not everybody responds well to their communication style, because they're going to come out with that honesty. They're going to come out with the stuff that you don't want to hear, kind of like Sagittarius. But the difference is Virgo's going to approach it from a very emotionless place. So the information they have to give you, to them, is just factual. There's no feelings behind it. In fact, they haven't given any thought to how you might feel receiving it. Because honestly, that wasn't a part of the conversation. They didn't care. They were just wrapped up in their analysis of what the issue was, and they figured out in their head what the issue is. And at this point, they're ready to let you know what the issue is based on all this analysis they've done. How you feel about it, how you might feel about it, it never occurred to them that you might feel anything about it. Because of this, Virgos have a hard time making and keeping friends. Taurus, Capricorn, Cancer, and Pisces are the best friends match for Virgo. They're good problem solvers. They can be stubborn because usually when they have an opinion, they didn't just get there haphazardly. So it's really hard to get them to consider other positions. Loyal, helpful, self-absorbed, and hypercritical at times, but for the most part, they're going to stand by you through the good and bad.
This is part 2 of my video on understanding karma in astrology based on your 12th house placement. Of course, to have more accurate information, we'll need a full reading, but this is to just give you some general information about what the 12th house carries in terms of karma. Link in bio to schedule your reading. You can also watch all of my videos on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, as well as Twitter. So, starting up with Virgo. Virgo, you're here to learn how to heal without judgment. Virgo is naturally a healer in astrology, and it's not that they carry a lot of healing energy. It's that they're generally, at their higher self, love from a very pure heart. They really want to help people, and they want to see people win. If you have Virgo in your 12th house and handle this energy in the negative, you mistreated people who were under your care. So while you were patting yourself on the back and feeling good for helping them, you were also putting them down and treating them poorly. If you handle this in a positive way, you were either like a doctor or a nurse or a nun. You're here to learn to be practical, to be focused, and to be modest. You're here to help people regardless of how weird you think they are, and to think before you speak. If you have Libra in the 12th house, you're here to learn how to be fair to yourself and to other people. Libra in the 12th house, there's a whole lot of karma around relationships and also around ideas of justice. If you handle this placement in a negative, you were either in a marriage where you were not loved, or you were in a situation where the society you lived in treat you really poorly. You may have even lost your life due to unfairness in the justice system. So Libra in 12th house usually comes back to deal with issues of fairness between them and other people. This is why a lot of times Libra in 12th house tend to be very detached from other people. They don't trust other people. They don't like being close to other people. They don't want to be codependent. They like to feel like they can do any and everything by themselves and they don't need anybody. But really, they're here to learn the opposite, which is how to collaborate with people. They're here to work in the justice system and make the world a more just place. If you're a Libra in 12th house, you don't have much luck with marriage and relationships. And I know that sounds harsh to hear, but it's the truth. So try to accept that simple truth and try to find love in other ways. Not everybody's story involves, partnership in that way. If you have Scorpio in your 12th house, you're here to learn how to have empathy and compassion for other people. You're here to learn how to care about people even if you cannot benefit from them. In previous lives, you were probably involved in a life of violence and crime, or you were probably killed because you were considered an oracle or a witch of some sort. The big theme with this placement is to not abuse your power with other people, whether it's through emotional, physical, financial, sexual means. Be more self-aware, have less secrets, have less taboos, and really lean into your spirituality.